Our first guest speaker is Mr. Palniappan. He is an author of the book Zero EMI Unlock Your Financial Freedom. He is a keynote speaker with over 15 years of experience as a banker and IT program manager. He passionately speaks about various personal finance topics. He has evolved as a powerful speaker, having inspired many professionals through his speaking assignments, workshops, and programs. Palniappan was awarded as a Distinguished Toastmaster, the pinnacle award in Toastmasters International. He was one of the founding members of Professional Speakers Association of India, an association of Global Speakers Federation. Academically, he holds a MBA in International Business. Sir, we are honored to have you here with us. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dia. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Good morning and good evening to all of you. First of all, why do you need people like me to come and talk to you? Maybe regarding financial management or regarding personal finance. Why do people like me to come and talk to you? What do you guys think? Any quick answers? Okay, let me tell you, today I'm going to talk about zero EMI. The reason why I come and talk about it is because no schools and colleges teach us this important life skill. No one taught me, no one taught you, no one taught my parents, and no one taught your parents as well. All we learned is by trial and error method. I started earning money after my graduation. Then my friends also did the same. We earned money and we spent it as if there is no tomorrow. We burnt our fingers, and by then we are already past 30. When I started learning about financial management, I felt how wonderful it would have been if I had known these best hacks when I was young. It would have changed my life. Then I have my love for public speaking on the other hand. So what I did is I just combined these two and started speaking about financial management, spread awareness, and cultivate best practices in the minds of people. Can I go ahead and share my screen? Is it possible to give me permission, or Dia Ashraf? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thanks.
You're good. Yeah.
I want to present my screen, but I don't have permission. Is that something that you can allow me to present? Okay, nevertheless, I'll carry on. Once the permission is given, please let me know so that I can share. I have a couple of slides to show so that the audience can follow what I'm talking.
Yeah, please share now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hope you're all able to see my screen now. Okay, there are plenty of financial management principles. You're able to see my screen, right? The slide which says zero.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. There are plenty of financial management principles to be spoken and taught. However, for today, I have picked one important aspect of financial management, that is zero EMI. Anyone know what is zero EMI?
Debt-free life, right?
Debt-free life. Wow, that's good. EMI stands for equated monthly installments, by the way. In India, we call it as EMI. In different countries, it may be your simple loan repayment that you do every month. That is what EMI is all about. It's all about leading a debt-free life. Almost 95% of the people have at least one EMI to pay every month. That is what statistics say. By the way, people are tied to their EMIs, and most of the times the career decisions are taken based on the EMIs they have to pay. I'm not exaggerating. Leading a life with loans will restrict people's life in many ways. We are going to talk about those as well in a while. Debt is actually a leakage. And that's why I think it's very dangerous to live with debts. Before saying why debt is dangerous, let me tell you what debt is really. Debt and loans, now I will interchangingly, I'll be using these two words. Both remains the same. If you spend the money that is not yet earned, then it is a debt. You borrow money thinking that in future you will earn money and then you can cover that loan. It may be your credit card debt, it may be your personal loans, it may be your mortgage loans, housing loans, whatever. What if there is no income in the future? In such cases, which is in majority, the future of families goes for a toss. We keep hearing stories of organizations letting go their employees. Even during the COVID time, there are a lot of layoffs that happen, factories shutting down, manufacturers reducing the paid hours. All these results in either job loss or reduced income. When I spoke to many such employees, they were found in a terrific state of mind. They are scared about the future, having huge loans in front of them. Absolutely no clues about how to manage the loans. They were cursing the organization, the management for the pathetic situation. Many fear job losses because of the huge EMIs they have to pay. This gives us a lot of insecurity, leading to a very stressful life. To stick to the job, people make a lot of adjustments in terms of living up with a tough boss, poor job role, or work overload and whatnot. And if you do not have an EMI to be paid, if you do not have any loans, do you think you will fear job loss? No. That's what exactly I say. Debt is dangerous. By the way, my idea is not to scare you. The whole idea is to get a better understanding of debt, stop drowning, and learn to be financially free and make choices at will. When I was watching television, I saw a news about a family committing suicide. What I learned that day was even more shocking. The family committed suicide because they could not repay their loans and withstand the debt collectors' approaches and follow-ups. Very shocking. If the family did not have any loans, if they did not have anything to repay, would you think they would have committed suicide and ended their life? No. That's exactly why I say debt is dangerous. Again, by the way, my idea is not to scare you. The idea is to get a better understanding of debt, stop drowning, and learn to be financially free and make choices at will. And I had my one uncle. He used his credit card extensively for shopping. When the credit card statement came, he did not worry much. He paid the minimum amount due. Those who are using credit card will know there is some amount that you're liable to pay, and there is one minimum amount due that you have to pay. So he continued to pay the minimum amount due, and he continued his shopping as well. Every month the statement would come, my uncle will pay the minimum amount due and continue to shop. Over a period, he ended up paying double the amount of what he spent. There was a late fee, there was an interest on outstanding amount, and other penalties. When it comes to loans, the most crucial component is interest. Like people in IT, interest also does not sleep. There is no holiday period for loans. Assets take holidays, but loans do not. If my uncle avoided using the credit card, if he had paid the full amount rather than the minimum due, do you think he would have ended up paying double the amount? No. That's exactly why I say debt is dangerous. Again, by the way, my idea is not to scare you. The whole idea is to get a better understanding about debt, stop drowning, and learn to be financially free and make choices at will. Now you would have got a better idea why debt is dangerous, isn't it? From the three scenarios that I explained to you. So please stay away from debt. People argue that debt is essential for economy to grow, and it is misleading to say not to borrow money. And if no one borrows money, how will the economy grow? And all of these questions comes up all the time. In my view, the debt or EMIs are not the fuel for the economy, but consumption is. Consumption keeps the money moving from one place to another. If there is no consumption, then the growth stagnates. The problem is when the consumption uses debt, the borrowed money, that's when the problem occurs. Debt-driven economy keeps the bankers, credit card companies, lawyers, judicial systems, all of them busy. It makes them happy. It keeps them in business. The common salaried people or business owners are the victims in the name of offers and EMIs. I do not say no to consumption, but no to EMIs. Spend with your own money, the money that you have earned. That will be the real boom for you and also for the economy. Now, you may be thinking of buying a house and its value is huge and you cannot pay it from your savings. say 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever it may be. Should you take a loan? Because I just spoke about that debt is dangerous, so how to go about it? Friends, the most important consideration while taking a loan is whether it is a good loan or a bad loan. What is a good loan? If you're taking a loan for anything that grows in value, then it's a good loan. For example, housing loan, a business loan, an educational loan, all of these are good loans. What is a bad loan then? If you take a loan for anything that declines in value, then it is a bad debt. Right? That's the opposite of good debt. For example, home appliances, your mobile phones, home appliances meaning your washing machine, refrigerator, and whatnot. And your mobile phones, cars, all of that. People will raise their eyebrows when I say, no, don't get a loan for cars. That is a bad loan. Don't ever take a loan to buy a car. Car is not a necessity, it's a luxury. So please be aware of good loans and bad loans. If you're taking a loan for an investment that will grow in value, then it's a good loan. Go for it. If you're taking a loan for anything that will not grow in value, like your car, home appliances, then it's a bad loan. Please do not go for it. Always remember that. Now comes the important question, how to avoid loans. Okay, you said me that loans are bad. I get it. But now, how to avoid loans? Number one, proper savings. I don't think I need to explain this. It's very plain vanilla. All I want to say is that savings is not an expense. It's an investment. Please start saving. The first expense that you're going to make as soon as you receive money as a salary or a profit from your business is savings. Second one is to reduce expenses. You can reduce expenses only when you know where your money is going. To know that, you must track your expenses. If you're not already doing this, I would strongly recommend you start this habit. Tracking your expenses will help you to know whether where your money is going, and you can use your intelligence with the data to make course corrections. And three, most importantly, live within your means. Will Rogers, there was an American actor turned newspaper once said, almost 100 years back, he said, too many people spend money that they have not earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like. Let me tell it a little slowly. Too many people spend money that they have not earned to buy things that they don't want, to impress people that they don't like. And he said this almost 100 years back and holds good even now. So live within your means. Then four, stop using your credit cards. I rolled out a survey about credit cards a few years back with hundreds of my contacts. They're all IT professionals, doctors, college professors, young professionals, business owners. In that survey, the answers revealed that close to 45% of people uses more than one credit card. May I have a quick raise of hand? How many of you in this room uses more than one credit card? Okay. Right. It's no different from what I saw in my survey actually. Okay, it is worrying to see this behavior because credit card is the most expensive debt. It is very important to alter your behavior towards credit card if you don't want to get into a trap. That's a debt trap later. And if you're using a credit card for some unavoidable reasons, here are the 5 golden rules that you must follow. That is my high recommendation. One is always pay the dues in full. Don't make part payments like what my uncle did. It will attract late fees, penalty charges, and interest on the outstanding amount. Credit card issuers charges anywhere between 36 to 48% interest per annum. I suggest you execute a standing instruction with your banker to pay automatically the credit card bills in full, so that you don't need to keep remembering the due date always. And then keep track of your credit card expenses. It is important to keep track of your credit card expenses separately. I already told that you should start tracking your expenses. Keep your credit card expenses tracking separately. It will help you to cross-check once you receive your monthly statements. And 3, read your monthly statements carefully. As soon as you receive the credit card statements, monthly or bi-monthly, you must read it carefully and cross-check with your expenses tracker. It will help you to identify errors. If there are any errors in the statement, like you are charged for an amount that you haven't spent, or you are charged with some miscellaneous charges. I'm not saying that every statement will have some errors, but you should develop the habit of reading your monthly statements to identify errors, if any. In case of errors, you can report it and get it rectified and save a few bucks. Agree, right? And then don't ever withdraw cash from your credit card because interest will be charged from the very next day. There is no free credit period for cash. When I said this in one of my sessions earlier, a few people came to me and told me that they don't know this information. So if you also don't know this information, please beware of cash withdrawals from your credit card. It attracts interest from day one. In 2012, my friend Anand was advised by someone to buy a plot, a vacant land. In the outskirts, as if it was a good investment and the prices will go to skyrocket and all of that. Anand got tempted, as most of us does. He was convinced that the prices will go up and made up his mind to buy a plot worth of 2 lakhs INR. He did not have enough cash. He did some calculations and projections. All he had was a credit card. He can't take a housing loan for this amount because for that too for a vacant land because he will not get enough money. So he decided to use the credit card. How much profit, he calculated how much profit he'll be making after paying the credit card dues and after selling the plot with the profit in a couple of years. Everything looked so green to his eyes. He was so positive about the future. So he went ahead and used his credit card to withdraw cash and purchase that plot. He felt so happy for his decision. But friends, time proved him wrong. The land price did not go up, but the credit card dues went up. He ended up paying 5 lakhs to the credit card and he disposed the land later in 2015 after almost 3 years for 2.5 lakhs, roughly about 25% returns in 3 years. But he ended up paying 5 lakhs to the credit card. So it's almost 50% loss. So if he would have bought the land from his savings, then the decision is somewhat okay. 25% returns in 3 years is not bad. But he did a mistake by withdrawing cash from credit card. So what lessons do you and I can learn from Anand's experience? Never withdraw cash from credit card. Then golden rule number 5. Don't take another loan to repay your credit card debt. Many people, when they cannot pay the credit card dues in full, they tend to take a loan from another bank to pay this. You are not closing a loan. Remember, you are only transferring your loan from one bank to another and keep paying interest and charges. So you don't ever take another loan to repay your credit card loan or any other loan. You will only end up in a debt trap. So if you're using credit cards for a reason that you cannot avoid, then at the least you must follow these 5 golden rules. Always pay the dues in full. 2, keep track of your credit card expenses. 3, read the monthly statement carefully. 4, don't ever withdraw cash from your credit card. And 5, most importantly, don't take another loan to repay your credit card debt. Now coming back to how to avoid loans, a quick refresher. Friends, if you follow these 4 simple steps, proper savings, reduce expenses, live within your means, and stop using credit cards, I guarantee you that you can avoid loans, avoid taking loans, and getting into a debt trap. Let me pause here. Yeah, let me pause here. And I can take some questions. So what questions do you have? I encourage you to unmute and ask your questions you might have in your mind. There's no right or wrong questions. They're all just questions. Any questions that you have?
Hi, Palni. Yes, I have a question. So you said good loan and bad loan, right? So
Yeah.
in the good loan category, you said housing loan is kind of a good loan. So if it is appreciated over time, then we can consider it as a good loan. So, but in this situation, I'm not sure whether that there will be appreciation. So in this case, how we can classify this as the housing loan?
House, there are two ways to look the purchase of a house, right? One is purely as an investment. Second one is emotional part of it. Right? House is always associated with a lot of emotions, pride in the society. So your intention, if your intention is to uh, gain something from that asset type, you buy a house, you want that value to appreciate, then yes, definitely it will appreciate. But a lot of factors you need to consider before even buying the house. Right, the decision should be well informed in terms of the location that you choose to buy the house, the cost price of the house, whether it is in alignment with the market price, is there any negotiations available with the buyer and all of that, and then the amenities, the facilities available for that location, and then what is the current rate, of the market, and is it underdeveloping or already developed, or the prices are already saturated. A lot of research should be done even before making that buying decision, right? It's lakhs and lakhs of rupees that we spend in buying a house. If it is purely looked at an investment point of view, then you must look at a lot of factors and decide on that. But if it is purely on an emotional perspective, right? I want a house to live. And sometimes, for example, for me, in my case, I'm actually forced to buy a house in a location that is closer to the place where my parents live, because they are also elderly persons. So I don't want to stay away from them. So the location is restricted, right? I cannot go and search the entire city, but the location is restricted in my case. So if there are any personal factors that is applicable to you, then you have to evaluate those as well. You have to weigh those factors as well when it comes to purely emotional, right? And then if your intention is to just to live, go buy a house and live there. If it is your first house, that's when the emotions play a huge part. That is your first house. But still, even when the emotions try to play a larger role, I would suggest we should take an informed decision so that it turns out to be a very peaceful place for you to live and spend time with your family and grow. House is definitely an asset that would appreciate in the long run. Long run, yeah. So buying a house is definitely a good loan. I would encourage to do it, but the repayment, when it comes to repayment, the people take a lot of time, 20 years repayment, 30 years repayment, and I would suggest, if you can actually try to close it out in 5-10 years time, then that will be really great. You'll end up saving a lot of money in terms of paying interest. Because in the beginning years, you'll be paying large amount of interest. So it's better to close it out as soon as possible. Ravi, did I answer your question?
Yeah. Yes, thanks for the clarity.
Okay. A quick time check, Ashraf and Dia. It's already 9 p.m. So is there any questions? Can I go ahead and take for another 2-3 minutes, or you would like me to wind up?
Yeah, it's okay. If anybody has questions, you can take another 2 more minutes. No issues.
Okay, sure. Any other questions, please?
Anyway, within a short span, you explained much
Pastor.
more. Thank you very much. So we got it well. Your expression was very well. Only within half an hour, this much only you can deliver regarding this EMIs and all. But mostly people understand the EMI is in trouble. This thing, IT people, whatever, even the petrol, and they keep on paying that. It is they will allow only for the 15 days credit. After that, they will be charging it. So like somebody, if they want the money, they take it. So very next day, as you said, they will keep charging. They will be charging you. So that youngsters should understand. They maybe, as you said, will be having more than 3 cards at a time. Wallet
Absolutely.
with the cards, credit cards. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. No, thanks. Thank you very much for your understanding, and thank you for the summary as well. Yeah. When we were young, nobody told us. It's all, as I told in the beginning, it's only trial and error method. We all learned, we burnt our fingers. And I think it's very essential to get this financial literacy at a very young age. It's one of the important life skills. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and one item I wanted to say is in countries like US and all, right? You can't even think of a life without a card and without a home. So and that same culture is being embedded in our civilization.
Right.
So what do you think? What we can do if somebody is actually living in US or
Yeah.
Hi, Ashraf. Hi, Ashraf, and hi, Palaniappan. Yeah, so I'm living here in US, and I have had same sort of question. So credit card, as you well explained, it's very, it's always good to avoid that. But on the other hand, in US, there is a lot of benefits as well. So for instance, just to build the credit, each person has a credit score, right, in US. So we actually need a credit card and keep repaying and build that credit score. That's one thing. And also, I think it would be different for the repaying thing. Maybe you were speaking from an Indian perspective. I'm not sure if we withdraw the money, the very next day, the interest kicks in here. I didn't withdraw the money, but I'm not sure. But if that's something I have to cross check. But again, also, I think the minimum payment due, I think that's enough to avoid any interest here in US. That's my understanding so far.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Look, 3 things. Very, very interesting points. It's a good learning for me as well. So withdrawing cash do not attract interest. You're not sure, but please check and text me so that it will be a good learning for me as well. So that in my future sessions I can use that. And second one, minimum amount due, paying minimum amount due will avoid interest charges in US, is it? But in India, the case is a little different. Paying the minimum amount due will attract interest for the remaining amount, the balance amount that the customer has to pay. If, for example, 1 lakh is the credit card bill amount, then I'm paying 25,000 rupees as a minimum due, then the interest will be applied on the remaining 75,000 rupees. That is one thing, that is a difference in the way the business operates, credit card business operates in India and US. And thirdly, the credit products that we are forced to use in order to improve our credit score, that varies from country to country. Yes, using a credit card may help to improve your credit score. And credit score is vital here in India only when we go and buy a credit product. Means whenever we go and take a loan, that is when your credit score is checked. Otherwise, we don't have any connection with the credit score here. And again, I can use any credit product for that matter. I can take a good loan and still I can improve my credit score in India. So that is one good way that we can do. We can take loans, but we can take good loans and take care of our credit score. By repaying them promptly, we can improve our credit scores. These are my few cents for. Thank you so much for pitching in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Palani.
Thank you, Ashraf. And I'm not sure if people have any other questions, but quickly let me summarize, take less than a minute to summarize what we covered. Today I spoke about zero EMI and a debt-free life. In fact, debt is dangerous, so please avoid loans. Evaluate good loans and bad loans. Don't ever take bad loans. There are 4 simple steps you could avoid. You could follow to avoid loans: proper savings, reduce expenses, live within your means, and stop using credit cards. And if you are using credit cards, then please don't forget those 5 golden rules. 1, always pay the dues in full. Keep track of your credit card expenses. Read the monthly statements carefully. Don't ever withdraw cash from your credit card. And 5, don't ever take another loan to repay your credit card loan. And thank you so much, Ashraf, for inviting me to speak here. You were all lovely, and I was so happy to speak to you. Over to you, Dia.